What's going on, guys? Murph's YT13 here, and we are back for another episode of WWE Match of the Week and my Raw review. This week we have Y2J versus HBK versus the Texas Rattle Snake, Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's right, the new cover star of WWE 2K15, which is coming out October 27th. We saw the trailer during Raw, showing Stone Cold digging up the Smoking Skull belt in the middle of the Broken Skull Ranch. It was awesome, and I can't wait to bring you guys some content from the game as soon as it comes out. On to Raw. We started with Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar. This is the best way to start off any show. Heyman was on fire again. He talked about how his client conquered the streak, conquered John Cena, conquered Roman Reigns. He dropped a brilliant line on how Seth has broken the 11th commandment. Thou shalt not intentionally provoke the beast, Brock Lesnar. He says that Brock isn't going anywhere and that he'll be around all night. Heyman was spot on yet again. The guy is untouchable. And at the moment, I'm completely sold on this match and I cannot wait for Battleground. Great promo from Paul E. We then went from the good immediately to the ugly. We get Kane in a bunch of superimposed pictures of him on vacation in Hawaii. I swear that WWE thinks we are all mindless idiots. Who would find this shit interesting or amusing? Why can't they shoot a couple of quick clips of Kane laying on a beach somewhere? Is that really so hard? Do we really need this garbage on our televisions every Monday? They then showed a map. J&J Security were there, shown in the Cadillac, riding around Chicago and making fun of the town. At least they're on location though. They're in the car. We can actually see them doing something. They're not stupid photos that have been photoshopped. Anyway, that's enough on that. We then moved on to the first match of the night. It was Big Show versus Ryback. And if you've listened to my reviews before, you know that I'm not the biggest fan of what's been going on with the Intercontinental title at the moment. I didn't have very high hopes for this match, but I must say I was pretty impressed. And after listening to Chris Jericho's podcast, Big Show, I kind of have a soft spot for him now. I always knew he was a pretty cool guy, but that podcast, you should check it out on Talk is Jericho. It was really cool. They pull back the curtain a little bit, and Big Show, I think he's pretty much Teflon in the WWE at the moment. I don't think he can get in trouble for anything, clearly, because of what he said on that podcast. Anyway, we had Miz at ringside with a live mic. He was actually pretty funny and entertaining. I usually find the Miz absolutely unbearable to listen to, but I've actually really enjoyed him on Tough Talk, putting the guys through their paces on Tough Talk. I thought he's been brilliant on that. There was some brutal chops in this match. Ryback's chest resembled a baboon's ass. He wore them like a champ though, and Big Show dropped an impressive elbow from the second rope. Miz eventually got involved and ended the match. It was better than I thought it was going to be. But yeah, it still doesn't mean a hell of a lot to me. The Intercontinental title has gone down a couple of rungs again. It's unfortunate since Daniel Bryan was injured, of course, as we all know and I've talked about previously. We then had a Divas match, Brie Bella versus Paige. The continuation of the feud between the Bellas and Paige, I guess. This was almost a carbon copy start to Raw that we got last week, except the opening promo was about 1,000,000 times better, and this match was about 1,000,000 times worse than last week. Brie won off the distraction from the two girls on the outside. This feud is really built around promoting Total Divas, and that was made really obvious. I thought perhaps a little bit too obvious in this segment, so it's hard for me to get invested when I don't even watch Total Divas. It is what it is though. I think the only way to save it is to bring the NXT girls in. I said it last week. I think that's the only way to bring perhaps a little bit of legitimacy. I think it'll be pretty hard considering the NXT girls aren't on Total Divas, and if this is all circulating around that show, if they're not on the show, I don't like the odds of them being included in the storyline. But we need some good women's wrestling. We had a great women's match last week with Alicia Fox and Paige. This week, not so much. It was okay. They did their job. Let's move on. We then had a cool package from Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt. It seems as though they're going down the path of Bray's jealousy or resentment towards Roman for being the poster boy of the WWE. He's been chosen, and Bray keeps saying anyone but you, Roman. I think that's pretty smart, but I'd still like to see them make it a little bit more about his family, because that's when Roman really shines, when he's got his daughter on the line and things like that. I don't agree with some people that I've read saying Roman's daughter should be on TV and things like that. I think that's a no-no. Leave his daughter out of it, but keep implying. Go to Roman's house or do something weird like that, you know, like hang outside the windows. You don't have to involve her directly. She doesn't have to be on TV. I don't think that's the way to go. But we then moved on. We had the next match. It was Roman Reigns versus Sheamus, and I had some high hopes for this one after their last match. This was mainly a brawl around the ring, some hard-hitting stuff, but it was ultimately headed for a wide interruption. We all knew that was going to happen. Stevie Wonder could see that was going to happen. A fake Bray Wyatt came out after it went to black. He wore a Superman punch from Roman Reigns. Roman went to grab his head, pulled the wig off. We know that it's all a ruse. Ray's there laughing, and Roman loses by count out. At least they announced that Roman had lost the match this time instead of just assuming that we would know. We then got the return of Randy Orton to a pretty good reaction. He came out, he brawled with Sheamus. He got a nice pop for the RKO, I noticed. It's a really great finishing move. I pop every time for the RKO. I absolutely love it. I really don't have much interest in seeing this feud though, but we'll have to wait and see how it pans out. These two have fought so many times. I don't find their matches overly entertaining, but it is what it is. You get whatever they serve up to us. It's Vince's baby. I understand that he owns the company. He signs off on all of this. He has to go with what he perceives to have worked last time. We then cut backstage to Seth and Triple H talking about how to approach taking on the Beast, Brock Lesnar. And Seth says that he has Battleground covered, and I thought that was brilliant. He's tapping the belt. He's saying, I'm fine. Don't worry about me at Battleground. I've got Brock Lesnar covered. We'll see about that. Triple H then says, you need to do something unthinkable, so Seth decides to call out Brock Lesnar. I thought Seth was great in this, and he's really showing that they need to give him some more balls. They need to give this character some more balls. We then cut back to the ring. Rusev and Summer Rae are in the ring. I think Summer looks really awkward and doesn't know how to react at times, but Rusev, he's pretty strong on the mic, and he said at one stage that he's better looking and more passionate than Dolph Ziggler, which I thought that was a great line. Dolph then came out with Lana, and I tweeted out when I saw them, I think they almost look like brother and sister, but after a few words, Lana and Summer faced off. This will be good when it finally happens, provided they don't have an actual wrestling match and that it doesn't go too long. I think that's the key. They need to just have a bit of a scrag. The crowd seems pretty into it. Rusev then attacked Ziggler. He ripped off his ankle brace, and apparently to reveal that he is no longer injured, so I'm guessing we'll maybe see a mixed tag or Rusev versus Ziggler at Battleground. So that'll be pretty cool. I think they'll put on a good match. Rusev spiked Ziggler with his crutch right to his throat, which looked totally brutal. He was sent to hospital in an ambulance. I really like this. I hope they keep Ziggler off TV to really sell the injury and really drive home the point that Rusev is really dangerous. We then cut to the ring after, I think it was after a commercial. We then had a brief Bo Dallas promo before he was cut off by Dean Ambrose. They need to give Ambrose more than a 5-minute match with Bo Dallas. He won with Dirty Deeds after an okay little match, but he needs more. So that's my question of the week. It'll be in the comments. How would you revive Dean Ambrose? I'll post the question in the comments below and let me know your thoughts. We then got what I'm hoping is the final chapter in this feud, King Barrett versus R-Truth. This match was actually pretty good for what it was. Barrett won with a bullhammer to Truth after he leapt from the top rope or the second rope and got caught. Hopefully Barrett getting the win here is the last we see of both these guys and we move them both into something fresh. Then we got to one of the best segments of the night. Seth Rollins calling out Brock Lesnar. This was awesome. Seth came out. He was waving his arms to the side of the stage and out came the Cadillac. And I know all of you, like me, said all at once, yes! The car is getting destroyed. Seth and J&J Security then made their way to the ring, holding the axe handles. I love the image of these three standing in the ring, waiting with their weapons to slay the beast. Then Lesnar's music hits, and he approaches the ring, but slowly backs up towards the car, motions to Heyman at the side of the stage. He brings out a chest. It has axes in it. I thought he was going to take the fire extinguishers to the car as well, but he didn't. He smashed the car up. It looked like he was having such a good time. He threw the car door into the crowd, and it actually hit a fan. Everything about this was great. He's so unpredictable. That's what makes him special. He went after Rollins, but then he retreated. Ended the segment standing on top of the car with Paul Heyman bowing to him. It's brilliant. I can't wait for Battleground. We then had the come down match after that. Lucha Dragons versus New Day, Kofi and Big E. This was just a nice little tag match, some cool spots, nothing major to report. I really think the tag division needs some depth. The WWE have really been unlucky with injuries to Rowan and Tyson Kidd. Maybe they should make a phone call to Devon and Bubba, maybe, to get some 3D action going. I don't know, anything would freshen it up a bit. We then moved on to the main event of the evening, the John Cena Open Challenge. Cena cut his usual promo, and then we got the highlights video of Finn Balor beating Kevin Owens in Tokyo, which, by the way, was a fucking unreal event. You should check that out. It had a different feel to it. The Japanese crowd was absolutely fantastic. If you haven't seen it, go and check it out. It's great. Then Kevin Owens came out. He looked really pissed off, and he was super over with the Chicago crowd, as you would imagine, and as you can also imagine, Cena, as you would expect, was super unpopular. Owens cut a short promo on how he doesn't want to hear this crap from Cena anymore. He echoes everybody's sentiments. Regardless of what you think about John Cena, he gets a reaction. The crowd don't sit on their hands when he comes out. He gets a reaction, a very passionate reaction, no matter what he does. Then Cesaro's music hit. He came down, claimed that if anyone deserves a title shot, it was him. He got in Owens' face, and oddly, Owens backed down and left without any reaction at all. I thought that was very, very strange. Then we got an awesome wrestling match. Tons of great near falls, tons of good spots, except for the dreaded springboard stunner. I think Vince McMahon should worry more about John Cena connecting with the springboard fucking stunner than he should worry about Cesaro's connection with us. This match was awesome. If you haven't seen it, go out of your way to watch it. It was great. Cena beat Cesaro clean off a second rope AA. I really hope they do something with Cesaro from this point, like put him in a program with Kevin Owens for the US title. If Owen beats Cena at Battleground, I'm not sure. Leave it in the comments below. What would you do with Cesaro from this point as well? Maybe we'll have 2 questions of the week. It did seem like they teased it a bit at the start of the match, but who knows. Owens then came back down to the ring, which after simply walking away from Cesaro, it seemed really, really strange. This is a guy who's meant to fight anyone and everyone, but he backed down from a guy who eventually lost to Cena anyway. So I didn't quite understand that. It made Owens almost look a little bit silly. He eventually ate an AA and we went off the air with Cena standing tall, thanking the crowd. It was a really good final hour of Raw, and it really showed that the writers are still capable of putting together some good stuff. I'd give the show a pass overall, but 3 hours is just way too long. I'm certainly not holding my breath for a shorter show though, because they make a ton of money on that final hour, and for advertising and for those purposes, I can completely understand. But guys, that's it. That's my Raw review. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, drop a like. If you have some thoughts, leave them in the comments or hit me up on Twitter at MurphsYT13. And if you haven't already, smash the subscribe button. And as always, for MurphsYT13, thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.